everyone. My name is Rick O'Connor. I'm with the Florida Sea Grant Program, part of the UF IFAS Extension, and we are going to talk a little bit today about a new ruling coming from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission dealing with crab traps and protecting terrapins from entering them. This is the BRD program, if you've heard anything about it. So we'll start with the who, what, where, why. We'll start with what. What this is all about is protecting the diamondback terrapin. For those who have never seen one, this is it. This is a diamondback terrapin. It is a small turtle. This is a full-grown adult male. The females will get a little bit larger than this. They inhabit marshlands like this, ranging from Massachusetts all the way to Texas. In the mid-Atlantic states, they're quite abundant. There's a lot of them. Everybody in that part of the country knows all about these guys. It's the mascot of the University of Maryland. It's also the official reptile of the state of Maryland. Virginia, New Jersey, a lot of those states are all very familiar with this creature. They're quite abundant. As you come down south, their abundance begins to decline as you get below the Carolinas. Here, though, within that range, there are 7 subspecies. And of the 7, 5 of those are actually found in Florida, and 3 of them are only found in Florida. So though they may be more abundant in the Chesapeake, Mid-Atlantic area, the diversity is higher here. Again, the abundance is low. Most Floridians have never seen the animal, know very little or nothing about it. But again, our populations are pretty small, and the part of the mission of FWC is to conserve Florida's wildlife. This particular animal throughout its range is running into a couple of conservation problems. One of them is depredated nests. There's a lot of native animals, particularly raccoons, that will come dig up the nest, eat the eggs. So that has been a problem. Another problem is the loss of habitat. So with the habitat like this, some of it is the loss of marsh, but the more important thing is the loss of nesting beaches. As they move through these grasses, when it's time for her to lay eggs, she's got to find a sandy beach that's above high tide where she can lay her eggs and know that they can incubate over the next couple of months. And some of those beaches are disappearing. So that's an issue. Harvesting is a problem. Historically, the harvesting issue dealt with food. This animal was collected as a food product. Today, it's more for the pet trade. So there have been some issues with harvesting even in Florida for the pet trade. But finally, the last one we're going to focus on today, and what the new rulings about is today, is crab traps. This animal is known to swim inside crab traps. Being reptiles, they breathe air through their lungs, and so eventually they will drown since they cannot get out. So the incidental drowning has become a problem. Up in the Chesapeake area, they're more abundant. They were having a bigger issue with this. They've been dealing with this for a couple of decades, literally now. There have been one report I read where there were 40 dead terrapins in one crab trap. So if you've got that many turtles in one trap, then obviously you don't have blue crabs. And if you know anything about the mid-Atlantic states, particularly the Maryland, Virginia area, blue crabs rule up there. It's a major fishery for them, so anything that would impede or impact that fishery has got to be dealt with. So both the fishermen and the scientists started playing around with different ideas on how to keep this turtle out of the crab trap, but not impede the crabs from getting in. And what they came up with was this, a bycatch reduction device. The original ones were actually made of wire coat hangers, but now they are made out of plastic. And they did this rectangle. This particular one is 4 by 2 inches. But they would put these on the crab traps, and what they found was the crabs could get through sideways. They could still turn in sideways, but the terrapin could not get in. And they found a significant reduction in terrapins caught into traps. 80 to 90% of the terrapins were no longer caught, but it didn't significantly change the crab harvest, and everybody was very happy with it. So they've been using these BRDs up in the mid-Atlantic for quite some time. In Florida, we don't see as many terrapins, period, and we certainly don't see as many caught in crab traps, though we do. I have personally seen that, dead terrapins in a crab trap. But because of the low abundance here, high diversity but low abundance, the state has decided we need to do what we can to try to reduce the loss of any of these. So starting March 1st, 2023, these BRDs will be required on your crab trap. Eventually they'll be making crab traps with a mouth small enough that you will no longer need this, but right now you will. The crab traps, BRDs we're using in Florida are actually 6 by 2 inches. The next question is, all right, if I got to do this, where do I get these things? In the coastal counties where there's an extension office, you have Sea Grant agents. In some of them, most of them actually. Each Sea Grant agent right now has a case of these to give away to the public. So all you have to do is go to your county extension office. If there's a Sea Grant agent there, ask them for the birds. There is a form you'll be asked to fill out with your contact information and how many BRDs you actually need. If you live in a county that does not have a Sea Grant agent, then call your county extension office and they'll give you the closest one to you so that you can get to one and pick up these BRDs. Again, they all have them right now. They also have fact sheets if you want more information. They can answer your questions. They have a photograph to show you how to put these things on. They can assist you with putting them on. And so the program will begin March 1st, 2023. If you have any questions about this project, please contact your local Sea Grant agent.